Hi, everyone. Welcome to day 12. You are almost across the finish line in this Building Your Mid-Career GPS challenge. And today, without question, is where so much of what we have done comes together. If you've done the work, if you've been reading the book, everything is going to come together in about 60 seconds for you. The question that you need to knock out of the park on your interview that is going to set the stage for how the interview goes and what allows you to get someone interested in who you are and what you do rather than just finding you interesting is all in how you answer the tell me about yourself question. One of the biggest mistakes people make in interviewing is they bomb this question. I did it. When I changed the way I answered this question, it completely shifted the way my interviews went. And as a former hiring manager who has interviewed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people throughout his career, I have always listened very carefully to how people answered that tell me about yourself question. The biggest mistake people make is they do an experience walk. They walk through where they went to school and their title and all the jobs that they've had and everything. And it's on your resume, it's on your LinkedIn. I can see all of that. And as a good hiring manager, I always made it a point to read people's resumes. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something a little bit differently. You have done so much work in this challenge around creating your unique professional value statement that is what you use to answer the tell me about yourself question. Imagine sitting in an interview and a hiring manager says to you, tell me about yourself. And you start off with, I help. Right away, just like we talked with all the networking pieces, their brain is triggered. You're saying something differently to them than they've heard 95% of the time. When you say, I help, they want to know how you're going to help them. So they're going to listen a little more carefully. Here's what you need to do in formulating that answer. And your homework or assignment for today is to practice this and work on this. And I'll tell you about that in a little bit more in a moment. You want to keep your response to no more than 60 seconds. You do that because you want to have dialogue and engagement. So you deliver your unique professional value statement. You talk a little bit about why that's important to you. And then I want you to share something appropriately personal. Do you have a certain interest or hobby? Do you collect certain things? Have you traveled to all 7 continents, or is there a continent that you want to get to that you haven't traveled to yet? Do you have a unique talent? There's something in that that is going to let them in and make you memorable and get them interested in learning more about you. For me, it was easy. Whenever I ended that response to the tell me about yourself question, I said, so you get to know me a little bit more. I want you to know that I'm a huge game show fanatic. And I recently appeared, or back in 2006, I appeared on the game show Chain Reaction on the Game Show Network. And I'm also a professional bowler. I pretty much guaranteed at that point that nobody who was coming in to interview with them was a game show fanatic and a professional bowler. If anything, I was memorable. That's what I want you to be. I want you to be memorable. I want you to come from that place of value and service. I want you to tell them about how you are going to help them, and do that all in 60 seconds or less. You have to practice this. Part of the reason why you have to practice it is that it's a little bit different. It's different than what you've been taught or what you have done before. And so it's going to sound very differently when you do that. So our brains hear us talking about that and saying those things like, oh, hey, that's really different. That sounds odd. So we have to get our brain used to hearing ourselves say that. As I was fine tuning my business and I was saying, I help mid-career professionals prepare, position, and promote who they are and what they do so they can show up to find a job they love or love the job they have. I must have rehearsed that 1,000 times before I said it out loud. You have to get to that place, because when you get there, when you stand in your truth, when you stand in your power about the dynamic professional you are and all the things you can do for somebody, that's where the magic happens. And when you answer that question to tell me about yourself from a place of value and service, the dynamic of the interview changes. Now you have got them basically here. And at that point, everything else is a conversation. It's a dialogue. It's like having coffee with somebody. Yes, you don't want to mess up. You care about this. You want to do well. You want to be offered the position so you can make a decision about it. But at this point, it is all about building the relationship and communicating your value about how you're going to serve or help them by you being in this role. It's about getting them to see you in the role so they will make an offer to hire you. Without question, if you can nail the tell me about yourself question, the rest of the interview is easy. Whether it's a technical interview or a behavioral interview, they're looking to see how you're answering the questions. They want to know what your energy is around it. If they ask you the question, by the way, I hate these questions. What's your greatest weakness? Ugh, I hate that question. They just want to know how you're going to answer it. They're reading in between the lines a little bit. So yes, you should have something prepared for that. But at the end of the day, they want to know more about you. So your challenge today is this. I want you to start practicing your response to the tell me about yourself question. And I want you to go live in the Facebook group. And I want you to record your 1-minute response to that question. If you'd rather shoot the video on your phone and upload it, you can certainly do that as well. I just want to make this as easy but as challenging for you as possible. Because if you do that, if you upload something, we can give you feedback around it. We can all give you feedback around the response. And together as a group, help you make that better. So how would you answer the tell me about yourself question in an interview? Because from that point, the interview momentum is set and you have control over how you can answer it. You have an amazing, unique professional value that is in need and of service to so many people. Part of promoting who you are and what you do is just communicating it. I look forward to seeing your answers in the group. Have a great rest of the day.